What's cracking, y'all? This is Jackson Tolbert, the face behind Busy Fit Blueprint. Today, I'm just going to get into why you're still in pain, even though you train, and what I did after ACL, sciatica, and tendinitis issues. So, let's just get straight into it. So, what I realized after literally thousands and thousands and thousands of reps of training was that the missing piece in my training was how the nervous system experienced movement, not the movements themselves. Hence, one of my three training principles, intention. You should go check out that three-part series I just dropped. Anyways, the issue with most programs is that they just train muscles, but I needed to train my nervous system to feel safe inside my body again. So I'll just tell you a little bit about my story. Personally, I tore my ACL in 2020 of the COVID pause. Um, I tore my ACL and meniscus actually, and recovered within 9 months. So I came back, actually 8 months. I came back within that year to playing basketball. Um, the issue was my body did not feel the same. I felt, I, and also let me say this too. During the time of my rehab and recovery, all I did was train, workout, exercise upon reps on reps. One thing that's never changed about me is I've been very body weight dominant. So I did not believe in lifting weights. It's not something that I ever really got into. I always stayed true to body weight, and I just stressed doing a bunch of reps. A lot of people told me it wouldn't work, but it did, especially when it came to my goal was to get bigger and stronger because I felt that my athleticism would still be what it was or be even greater when I came back. Or I felt like the more muscle I added on, the stronger I'd be, which meant the more athletic I'd be. I was mistaken. So here I am every day performing anywhere between 500 to 1,000 reps of push ups, squats, lunges, you name it, of a body weight movement and just stressing repetition. Now, did I build mass? Yes, I did. Did I get stronger? Yes, I did. The issue was I felt unstable, I felt shaky, and I felt fatigued almost any time that I pushed myself. You can understand how frustrating that would have been for someone like me who had never experienced being in any of those conditions before so consistently. So, what I realized after a while, after actually years of research, and it wasn't until 2024, it wasn't until late 2024, my freshman year of college, that I realized that I wasn't actually weak. I was just disconnected. What I mean by that is your nervous system is what determines the quality of your movement. The quality of your movement is essentially what determines everything that has to do with your body. So, whether your goal is to build muscle, whether it is to get more athletic, whether it's to increase your endurance, it all depends on how efficient your system is at translating sensory input and output. How well can your nervous system take in information, relay it to other parts of your body, and turn that into efficiency? My body was pretty bad at that. And if you're watching this, yours might be too. No disrespect. That's why I'm here to help you. So now we get to the meat and potatoes. What did I do wrong? And then what did I do to fix it? So just years of accumulated stress building up over time, prolonged periods of sitting. Sitting wasn't actually the issue. It was what my body was doing while I was sitting. So what happens is you have these little micro stressors that happen. A stressful business meeting, an exam that you have coming up, you get a devastating phone call. These kinds of things stack up, and your system remembers them and registers them as reasons to protect and put you in fight or flight mode. What happens is you don't notice it because they're so subtle. But after a while, these little stressors stack and stack until that little tightness in your shoulders, your traps, your jaw ends up becoming upper back pain, or it affects your breathing mechanics. And so your breathing is connected to your core. So your deep core shuts off, and now you have stability issues, and your lower back flares up, Your knees start hurting because they're taking on the load instead of it going to your hips, etc. This is the cycle of pain. So, what did I do? Go watch my 3 principles of training. But this is what I did. I stopped focusing so much on knees over toes training. I stopped focusing on the best stretches that I saw all across the internet. I stopped focusing on icing and banded work. What I did was first, I slowed down my training, whether it was eccentrics or it was isometrics. I slowed down my training and I gave my body an opportunity and my brain an opportunity to reconnect by scanning and becoming aware of what was actually happening in my body. What areas are tightening, clenching, gripping? How is my breathing? What's happening during movement? Did my body have a tendency to strain or to relax? This is the first step. The second step, I just simply implemented or integrated my principles of training into movement. Ergo, whenever I performed a movement or I went through a training session, I did my best to become aware of what was happening in my body, use my breathing to create stability that made it automatic and subconscious. And then I made the intention very, very detailed for the movement. So I really advise you guys to go watch the last 3-part series that I just put out, because that's really important for how I implemented these principles and how that actually started clearing up pain within a matter of hours or a day. Last but not least, I just scaled up my movement or the challenges or the difficulty of the movement. Essentially, you just want to challenge yourself and not just your muscles, but you want to challenge the system. So instead of me just doing a regular push up or an eccentric push up, now I add an explosive component. And then I still keep those same intentions and the same details, attention to detail within the movement. I still scan to see if anything's tightening or clenching or if I'm over bracing. And then I get that part of my body to relax. Or I go into a squat, the same thing. I slow down my descent. I add an explosive component. Essentially, it's just moving faster and getting even closer to real life situations that you will apply to your sport. Because at the end of the day, whether you're an athlete or not, movement is something that you as a human being have to be able to do. And it translates to everything, especially your mental clarity. My ability to focus, retain information, listen, even my memory, all improved drastically, very significantly. It was noticeable in every way possible. I was able to just walk around in my daily life. I wasn't overwhelmed by stress. And because I wasn't overstimulated, I was able to process information and determine the next course of action, which, if you're an employee, a boss, a business owner, etc., you're going to need all of those things and the ability to make decisions critically. So all in all, something I really want you guys to take from here today is you might not even need more discipline. You just might need better sensory input. So train how you want, whether it's cardio, weightlifting, parkour, etc. No weights, but make sure that you have structure and you're implementing these principles behind that training so that it's your body can work with you and for you rather than against you. So with all this being said, guys, look at my story. Stay tuned. I'll be posting more on this stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and just tune in. You know, I'm just glad to help you guys, honestly. So, guys, talking to you guys. Till next time.